Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. This is a dreadful bill. It is a bill of which Her Majesty Government should be deeply ashamed. It should hang its head in shame at having done it. The Department of Culture, Media and Sport, or Entertainment, as my honourable friend for Aldridge Brownhills called it, has agreed to something that directly contradicts what the Prime Minister says a year ago. So we have a Prime Minister, a leader of this government, of Her Majesty's government, who says one thing, and a Department for Culture, Media and Sport that brings forward a bill doing exactly the reverse. The Prime Minister said he was against ever closer union. This money will be spent on promoting ever closer union. So the Commons, in its wisdom, is to contradict the Prime Minister. Does that show the proper control that the government should have of its legislative programme, bringing forward bills that make the Prime Minister's words look like wormwood? Is that how the government wishes to behave, wishes to treat the British people? Are we to have trust of our politicians in this nation if the Prime Minister says one thing and his ministers bring forth bills saying another? Are we to feel that there is any direction in this government's policy towards reducing ever closer union when its bills say the reverse, when the words which are cheap say one thing but the acts of Parliament say another, and say that which the British people are opposed to? So what do we have? We have a review of competence to see whether there is the right balance, and we increase the competence without having any review at all. We have, by unanimity, agreed to spend money on promoting the ideal of the European Union, and we have no apology for it, no defence of this other than from the Minister saying he doesn't much like it, he doesn't think it's a grand scheme, but it might cheer up his mates in Eastern Europe. Is that... I give way to the Honourable Lady.
On that very point, does my honourable friend share my concern that the Minister's actually just admitted this is a message to the European Union and its citizens, not a message to the British public about our intentions?
I fear it is a message to the British... Of course I give way to my honourable friend.
I have to say that I'm not sure my honourable friend represented my views entirely as I would have them represented. And I did, after all, read out quotations from 4 British organisations, which I think have as much right to say that they represent the views of the British people as anyone else, very much supporting the programme, including the National Holocaust Centre.
4 British institutions that have had to take the European shilling, have had to sign up to promoting closer European integration to get access to that money. Institutions that are meant to be under English-British charity law, politically independent, except when it comes to Europe, when they get handouts to be biased in what they say. Of course I'll give way.
To my honourable friend, would he agree with me that whilst the Minister is right that the sums may well be modest and the grants may well go to some organisations that are of merit that we would do anyway in the United Kingdom without the need to have our own money back, that this actually powerfully undermines us as we go to our constituencies to try to persuade our electorate that we are sincere about getting powers back to Britain and putting them to the public in a referendum?
My honourable friend is absolutely right. This bill is Cretaceous. It thoroughly undermines trust. Cretaceous. Yes, as in from Crete. And we know the reputation. We know the reputation.
On a point of order, Mr. I know occasionally we allow words from other languages into this chamber, but I'm not sure if this is one that should be allowed.
Jacob Rees-Mogg, I must admit I didn't catch the word that was said. Absolutely. In which case, I think we'll progress with Jacob Rees-Mogg.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker. And my right honourable friend will find the word in the Oxford English Dictionary if he has a chance to look at it later. The point is, it absolutely destroys trust. And we know that trust in politics is at a low. There's been a recent survey saying trust in the European Union is at an all-time low since the survey started in 2001. But if politicians go round legislating in direct contradiction of what they have said, then the British public will take them for being untrustworthy. Of course I'll give way.
I'm grateful to the honourable gentleman, and on this subject he is almost invariably precise, and I agree with what he says usually. But he did say that this money is going to be used to promote the ideal of the European Union. I have to say that this money will be used to promote myths about the European Union, not the ideal. One of which is that the European Union has delivered peace in Europe over the last 60 or 70 years, and not NATO.
I'm extremely grateful to the honourable gentleman, and I do apologise, Mr Deputy Speaker, for understating my opposition to this bill. It is not an error I shall repeat in future. It is just a desperate disappointment. I was told when I was first elected by my honourable friend, the member for Aldridge Brown Hills, that governments would promise things. They would give guarantees, they would give undertakings. They would give reassurance as to how Eurosceptic they were. And as a young and naive new member, I would believe them. I would put trust in the leadership of the party to be saying as it was, as my honourable friend found when he first came here. And that I would find, as time went by, that these promises turned out to be as ashes and dust. And I would find that although the government was willing to say, to play, to sing the Eurosceptic tune, it would actually be dancing the pro-European dance. In this bill, we have found that that dance has been taken to a further degree. It would win Strictly Come Dancing for its skill in dancing to the pro-European tune. It is a great betrayal of trust. It is not the money that is involved, which is small. It is the principle. It is the principle of proposing and advancing the citizenship of Europe, a citizenship that is odious to most subjects of Her Majesty. It is something we never asked for, we never wanted, that most of us would reject, and we object to our taxes being taken to pay for it. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore, by their fruits ye shall know them. We know Her Majesty's government's true pro-European colours from this particular fruit.
Chris Eaton-Harris.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. I'm not particularly sure how I can follow that, really. Sit down. I suppose I should, yes, agree in general principles with my honourable friend.